Just finished 2 hours of running. Shows 2 hours and 5 minutes because I stopped at the bathroom, but did 12 miles, 10:21 pace. Absolutely crushed it. It's pouring rain right now, and I know most people wouldn't want to be out here in the rain when it's pouring like this, but this is actually one of my favorite types of runs because it's fun when I'm running around in the rain and everybody else is hiding, or I run past places like this where everybody's indoors, and I just know that I'm pushing myself to my capacity regardless of the conditions. That's just something that I like to see. Oh, by the way, welcome to the Post Run Podcast. This is what we're doing right now. But it was funny because like 10 and a half miles in, I was running around a track. Somebody kicked a soccer ball, and I ran up and I kicked it with like my right leg, and I felt it go up, and I felt it like a bit in my knee, a bit of pain, but mostly it hurt in my hip, and then it moved over to my other hip, and I knew that I still had like a good 20 something minutes to run. And I thought to myself, my body feels weak right now, and this is not how my body should be feeling, like with all the running and all the stuff that I'm doing. But it feels this way because I'm not fueling myself properly, and I haven't created the correct amount of strength to counterbalance how my body's feeling. So it just reminded me that like I need to get better at strength training. So just a takeaway, I mostly listened to Chris Williams' podcast, Modern Wisdom, with Ryan Holiday, who's one of my favorite authors, I think probably of all time. And ironically, they started talking about Unbroken, which has one of my favorite quotes, if not my favorite quote of all time, next to the Bible, like love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and I think all your strength. And the second commandment is like it, love your neighbor as thyself. My next favorite one would be a moment of pain is worth a lifetime of glory. And I got that from the movie Unbroken. My body's just like fight or flight mode with some of this stuff. But I got it from the movie Unbroken, Louis Zamperini. I've never read the book. I've always wanted to purchase it. And I think that after listening to the podcast today, I might end up purchasing that. But Ryan's one of my favorite authors because he wrote this book called Trust Me, I'm Lying. And it's about how the media manipulates things and how marketers manipulate things to make truth be what they want it to be because of the way that marketing and the incentive systems and everything is set up. And then after that, he wrote books. He wrote like another book, and then he wrote a bunch of books about Stoicism and just how to become better at regulating emotions, not getting rid of them, regulating them. And I just think that he's a really, really smart guy. And the things that he talks about from the lessons that he's learned from the Stoics are really intelligent, and a lot of people should consider them, and it would make their lives a lot better. So it's really great to listen to that. And he's working on, he just released Wisdom, which is a book in his series, a 4-part series. I believe it's like justice, courage, can't remember the other, discipline and wisdom, there it is. And I've read one of them, I believe. I'll likely try to read all of them, but Ryan's somebody that I hope to one day in the future have on my podcast, Things and Thoughts, and maybe even go for a run with him and have him on the Post Run Podcast. That would be pretty cool. But this is, ironically, my podcast is called Things and Thoughts, and those are where I'm going to talk about my thoughts on things and with other people, and likely make it so that when I talk about stuff, it's, how do you say it, more concise. It's less just me off the cuff, where this is more so me talking off the cuff, things that I believe in, things that could change, things that I can just practice talking about, getting straight to the point, having conversations. Because when I was on my run, I was thinking about when I run across America and when I try to do that for the Olympics. And it made me think about like the speech that I would want to give, because they were talking about how like the Naval Academy wouldn't let Ryan speak because he was going to speak about wisdom, and one of the things that they did was take out books from the Naval Academy that were quote unquote DEI, talking about people's struggles and how when somebody has wisdom and you want somebody to have courage, these things that America and justice and stuff is founded on, you would hope that somebody would have the courage to step up and talk about the banning of knowledge that could potentially help somebody. And if they can't even do it within their own group, how are they going to go ahead and apply that when they're at war? Especially these people that are going to become potentially great leaders. And yeah, so there was just a lot for me to reflect on, but one of the things that I was thinking about was, how do you take this idea that I have, the thoughts that I have in my mind, the things that I believe are correct, and move that forward? And one of the concepts they were talking about is, how do you trust your own intuition? Because a lot of people like to trust their intuition and ignore other people, when the reality is that you should probably ignore your intuition and trust the past. But the difference between trusting your intuition on what you believe is right when all other odds say that you're not, is that you have to see the things, consider the factors that other people have considered, and try to understand if you're just doing this because of your ego or because you potentially have knowledge that other people have not come into. So it's something that I am trying to figure out, because I feel like I trust my intuition less and less. And I do feel like God, Jesus, people are pulling me towards these things to trust my own intuition and try to bring things to fruition, in a sense of love and a bunch of different things. But I'm just going to leave it at that. It was a great podcast. Go and check it out. It's Chris Williams' most recent podcast with Ryan Holiday. And yeah, I'm going to probably get something to drink because my body's not feeling super good. Probably like an hour in, my body started to feel super fatigued, maybe even a little bit less because I didn't eat or drink all the stuff that I was supposed to. And again, talking about not following the things that you need to, or listening to other people, and how can you build on a structure when you don't have the foundation there to repair the growth that these people try to do, in the sense of like these great people try to repair themselves instead of keeping themselves on a foundation. But I gotta start eating and feeling better. I know I keep talking about this. I'm gonna go to church in a few hours and practice doing the things to become the person that I want to be in the way of following God, and try to grow in my faith. And I've been reaching out to people for Bible study. I've got to practice learning about running and taking the ultra running course and making time for that I paid for. But I'm just going to leave you off with, be who you want to become in order to become who you want to be. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, or whenever you're seeing this, and I will talk to you guys in the next Post Run podcast.